Hi, my name is Pamela Gilden, and this is my module summary number 2. All the information in my slides is from the book Child Development and Education on chapters 3 and 4, pages 110 through 193. Chapter 4's important highlights that I found were genes, that's on page 112. It covered structures of genes, operation of genes, formation of reproductive cells, genetic basis of individual traits and formation of disorders, prenatal development, that was on page 124. It covered phases of prenatal growth, which was development of the zygote, embryo, and the fetus. And another important highlight that I found was teratogens, and that was on page 128. Teratogens are potentially harmful substances that can cause damaging effects during the prenatal development. And some of these are alcohol, nicotine, cocaine, heroin, organic mercury, rubella, herpes, HIV or AIDS, stress, and an inadequate diet. In chapter 4, what I learned and what I thought was important was I learned about teratogens. I've always known that drugs and other substances were bad for pregnant women, however, I didn't know there was an actual term for it. There are many symptoms from teratogens depending on the substance that was used during the pregnancy. Some include delayed physical development, behavioral problems, delayed fine and gross motor skills, respiratory complications, heart problems, cells in the brain being disrupted, and so on. Why is this important? Knowing about teratogens and the effects on them can help you identify problems in children and get you thinking of ways you can supplement their education so they can catch up mentally and physically with other children. How can I use this information in my classroom? I can use this information by identifying mental or physical problems and altering my curriculum so everyone can learn and succeed. Chapter 5's important highlights were the brain and its development, neurons, dendrites, axon, and synapse, I think that's how you say that, structures and function of the brain, which were the hindbrain, the midbrain, the forebrain, physical development, physical well-being, eating habits, physical activity, and health compromising behavior, and lastly, developmental changes in the brain. So in prenatal, the brain's most basic parts are developed. In infancy and early childhood, the brain forms new connections among neurons. In middle childhood, the brain is well formed and continues to grow. In adolescence, the cortex continues to change, and synaptic pruning, and I'm not sure how you say this, miltation continues in some parts of the brain used in sophisticated thought process. So in chapter 2, what I learned and what I thought was important was I learned about eating habits, disorders, and promoting good eating habits. Some of the things I learned were provide between meal snacks when young children are hungry, offer healthful foods at school, regularly review the basics of good nutrition, and ask children to set goals for improving their eating habits, encouraging children to experiment with unfamiliar nutritious foods, make referrals when you suspect children have eating disorders, educate everyone about good diets and bad diets, follow up when you suspect serious nutritional problems, and convey respects for the feelings of children and adolescents. Why is this important? Well, poor nutrition can cause health problems, self-esteem issues, being overweight, and obesity. It is much easier to maintain a healthy weight and lifestyle rather than trying to lose that weight later on, so you have to start early. How can I use this information in my classroom? I can use this information by implementing good eating in the classroom. I could only allow healthy snacks and foods. I know a lot of schools already ban soda and candy, so I guess it just depends on where I'd work at already. I could also make sure to teach my students what foods are bad and what is good, as well as encouraging students to try new healthy fruits and vegetables. And this is the end of my module summary number 2. Thank you.